Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and on stage 8 of our walk along the Paphos Boardwalk, we're going from the Elysium Hotel to a little bit beyond Venus Beach. Specifically, we're going to go and see the new chapel that they built. I'm intrigued by it. So first of all, we're leaving the grounds of the Elysium, and on our right we'll have the Tomb of the Kings. Let's get in front of these people. So yeah, there's the Tomb of the Kings. It's always well worth a visit in there. It's only something like $2.50, and there are many tombs to see. Do make your way around all of them, because some of the more interesting ones are towards the end if you go clockwise. Weather-wise, it was a bit cloudy earlier on, but that seems to have dissolved now. So it's just me versus the sun. And at the moment my hat is winning. But I do have a nice cold drink in the bag, which I will consume when I get to the end of this segment. That's one way to do it, I guess. I suppose I could strap the GoPro to the front of the bike. Now these two people on the other side of the fence, I guess if you've walked to Tomb of the Kings, you might want to use an exit at this end. I don't even know if there is one, to be honest. I know there is by the Elysium, but not where they are. But Tomb of the Kings is definitely one of those places where you need to bring a couple of bottles of drink with you, because like the archaeological park, it does get very hot very quickly. We'll pan back. All the bins are in place. Now I noticed on the walk from the harbour to Lighthouse Bay, or Lighthouse Beach, that they had planted quite a few shrubs and small trees along the route by the fence. It doesn't seem to be the case here. Whether they're going to be arriving in due course, because I can see that there's an irrigation pipe all the way along, I don't know. But it's good between the harbour and Lighthouse Beach, because it means it'll eventually provide shade for people. And at the moment they have to rely on the shade structures they've made, like you can see up there. I don't know if that grey thing has got a roof to it, or if it's just a metal framework. I suppose the idea might be to stick some climbing plants on it, and eventually you'll have a natural shade. And that would be rather nice, I have to say. But don't quote me on that, because I'm just speculating. Gosh, that seawater's so near yet so far. The urge to jump in is strong. It's funny when you see Tomb of the Kings, let's pan back round. So just imagine the civilization that dug out all those tombs, and it wasn't for kings, as some of you will know, it was just for the wealthier members of the population. But all these rocks here Must have had people clambering over them, going for swims and stuff. 2,000, 3,000 years ago. And let's face it, apart from this path and the metal and concrete structures up ahead, the scene won't have changed a lot between now and then. But yes, they've got some sort of climber next to that metal structure. And I cut through this so I don't film them in the face. And now for the first time we can see Venus Beach, and I have to say they're really going to town on the deck chair front, testing the limit of the only put sunbeds on 50% of the sandy area. Mind you, I think they're more spaced out than they were pre-COVID. Because before that you were literally, in most of the sunbeds, they're right next to each other, but it's nicer to have a bit more space, especially when you get people playing films and music on their phones without headphones. It's got to be one of the most antisocial things you can do in a crowded area. If you number amongst those people, please stop doing that. Get some headphones. I'm definitely turning into a grumpy old man though. I relish the title with some gusto. Right, I don't know how much of the vegetation that's growing here is intentional and how much is actually just weeds, but it does look quite nice. And there's that in the middle of it all, which will hopefully sprout over the entire framework. Now Venus Beach itself has got a bit of a remarkable story behind it, in that when we first came and stayed in this area, say over a decade ago, there was a tiny little beach here, but it was a lot rockier. I mean, a lot of it was more like what you see down here now, so that bit there. And it was also very dangerous to swim, because like it would be an annual event, people swimming here would just get drowned, pulled out to sea in the riptides, and they had bloody great signs up saying don't swim here, but people still swam here, etc. So they built an artificial reef, which you can see out there, and they put some sand down, and now the place is lovely. I mean, Venus Beach Hotel has now got a beach it can be proud of in terms of having the same name. People can swim safely, provided they swim in the place that's actually behind the artificial reef, and you wouldn't think that needs to be stated, but the first time year was opened, someone had to be rescued, I seem to recall, who had been swimming beyond the safety area of the artificial reef. To be quite honest, that's just Darwin in action. Right, we're coming up to another of the natural shades. There is some shrubs that have been, or are some shrubs rather, that have been planted along here. Whether they're going to grow above head height, I don't know, or at all even, because they do seem a bit like they could do with some baby bio or something. If I was wearing my beach shoes, by the way, I'd probably walk through Venus Beach. Actually, I wouldn't, because it'd be too late in the day. I'd have to come here to do an article on the beach itself quite early, because it's obviously a very popular place. Sorry about that, the camera overheated, so I've had to wait a while for it to cool down. Now there's an interesting bit of shade over here which is new, I haven't seen before, and hopefully it's not too far to the end point, which is that little chapel up there you can see past the beach, so that I can get that without having to keep stopping again, because that would just be a colossal pain. But this is Venus Beach we're coming up to, and I'll stick to the path and the camera down a bit, so I had to be put somewhere cool, so I've adjusted all the settings unintentionally. But it does give you an idea as to how hot it is now. And that's, I mean, the camera must have been in use for about 20-30 minutes. I know GoPros are notorious at that, but given that it's been walked around on a gimbal and it's not like in an enclosed space, it just shows you how hot the sun can be. And these were the signs I was telling you about. They're still there for the bit that doesn't have the artificial reef. And anyone sensible will swim over there. And it's not all sunbeds over the whole of the beach, I should say. It just looks that way from this angle. And there's Venus Beach itself, Venus Beach Hotel itself up there. And the big sign saying something in Greek. Good, right, that's better. Oh, okay, so it actually says rent-free area. That's their way of trying to say, you know, you can't put towels down the front there. I don't think they've actually got a legal right to do that, but it makes sense if you are bringing your own towel to use the area over there though anyway. There's showers to my right, which now seem to be working. I won't film them for obvious reasons. And remember, if you like our content, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, as it really does help YouTube promote us. And if you want to help us financially, then go to our paphoslife.com/coffee page